What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building. And we got a special video today. I told y'all every week we'll make a top 5 threats to each weight class's champion. And now we're at 170, the welterweight champion of the world, Kamaru Usman. I know he has a title fight coming up, and I will give a disclaimer in this video. I will not be adding Jorge Masvidal or Street Bum on this video. So do not get your panties in a twist and just accept it. These are my top 5 threats to Kamaru Usman. But I will give some respect to Usman, man. He has proven to be a legitimate champion. He has, I wouldn't say he has cleared out his division, but he has got 3 consecutive title defenses over Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal, and Gilbert Durinho Burns. Also, Gilbert will not be on this list too. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't cry about this. But he's been looking amazing lately. He's accomplished so many things. I knew the guy was gonna be really, really good. After I seen him beat RDA, I didn't think he was gonna be this good. He's looking like a monster right now. But yeah, he's doing his thing, man. But and he's racking up that money, like he said on the Joe Rogan podcast. He wants to get multiple title defenses to rack up that wealth. So I'll give him credit for that. He is racking up that money. But let's get to the top 5 threats to Kamaru Usman right now. And at number 5, I know some people are going to be like, Everson, whoa, you need to chill out. Or eBay, oh, you need to chill out. And I got to go with Sean Brady. I know this is kind of early. The kid only has wins over, Jack Matthews and Christian Aguilera that are somewhat recent. I know he has some other wins in the UFC. I do know that. But I think Court McGee is one guy he beat too. But this kid has been looking really impressive. I think in the future he will be a threat. His jiu-jitsu, his wrestling, his striking, he's just everything he's good at. He's super well rounded, and to do that to a guy like Jake Matthews, that's a hard thing to do, man. Jake has wins over Ji Lang. He's a good fighter. And he's been in the UFC for a long, long time. And for him to just kind of, to do that to him, I was really, really impressed. I was shocked. So I think if he matches up with a guy like Usman, I feel like he would match up really well. His jiu-jitsu, his wrestling, his striking, it's not bad. I think he matches up really, really well. And the kid is super, super talented. He's a stud. But yeah, at number 4, I gotta go with Michael Chiesa, man. Chiesa, he's been an interesting guy lately. I didn't have a lot of respect for him coming into that Rafael dos Anjos matchup. I remember I picked against him, even though he did have his wins over Carlos Condit, Diego Sanchez. I still remember the Michael Chiesa from lightweight. I still looked at, this is the guy from lightweight. This is the guy that got submitted by Anthony Pettis, that got whooped on by Kevin Lee. It ain't nothing changed. I know he does have a submission win over Ally Quinta, which is actually somewhat impressive at lightweight. But I was like, this guy ain't good. And then what he did to RDA, I was like, whoa. Now, and to be fair, I think RDA is probably, one of the most underrated welterweights and lightweights of all time. Because you look at the guys that have beat RDA at the welterweight weight class and look where they're at right now. It tells you something. Chiesa, right? He beats RDA. He has a matchup with Neil Magny. I knew better, and I picked Chiesa to beat Neil Magny. A lot of people ended up picking Magny in that matchup, and Chiesa dominated him. Look at where Chiesa's at. Colby Covington beats Rafael dos Anjos, right? What's it called? Wins the interim title. Has probably one of the most competitive fights with the champion or the champion's history in the UFC. In Kamaru Usman, and then you look at a guy also like Usman who beat him, right, and becomes undisputed, right. I think and you look at the guys that haven't fought RDA, like Gilbert Burns and Jorge Masvidal and T Wood. Even you look at them right now, they look like some losers, So I think we gotta put some respect on RDA's name. And also Chiesa, man. Chiesa's looked amazing. Chiesa versus Usman would be really, really interesting. I feel like Usman would be able to keep it standing and probably just kind of beat him up on the feet. But I think his grappling is really, really interesting because he's out grapple guys with decent grappling skills. Like Neil Magny has decent grappling skills. Like it was just shocking how it was kind of easy for him just to take Magny down at will. But and then next up at number 3, I gotta go with Wonder Boy Stephen Thompson. This guy, oh my god, I think at 38 years old is still going at it. He has not given up on his dream to get that belt, and he's hell bent. He's beaten a lot of these guys that they call dark horses. In my humble opinion, I thought his Vicente Luque win was actually better than his Jeff Neal win, but you know, people were really hyping up this guy Jeff Neal, dark horse this, dark horse that, and all he did was beat fucking what's his face, Mike Perry, you know, another black bum that they found off the street. And I was just playing. Perry a cool guy, man. I like Perry. But yeah, they were hyping up Neal, and they were saying all this stuff about Jeff and all that rah rah. And Wonder Boy just went out there and had fun with him for 25 minutes. Now against Vicente Luque, I have a video out on my YouTube talking about dark horses of each weight class. You guys go check that out. And I put Vicente Luque in there. I love Vicente Luque. Luque is my boy. At UFC 260, he might not be my boy. I'm just saying that right now, giving y'all a disclaimer. But I picked Wonder Boy to beat Luque, but man, did he whoop on Luque. He made Luque look like a nobody in there. Like that last round of that fight was really concerning. Like I actually really felt bad for Luque. Luque was getting hurt in there, and that was a bad beating. He was a punching bag for a little bit, and Wonder Boy looked amazing in there. So Wonder Boy trains with guys like Chris Weidman. He has good takedown defense. He really does. You look at what he did to Roy McDonald. Stuffed a lot of his takedowns. Was kind of able to outclass him. Against T Wood, though, he was taken down a few times by T Wood, and T Wood is, he's not a guy that likes to use his wrestling as much. Even at that point in his career when he was a champion, he didn't like using his wrestling a lot. And I still, even though T Wood is the best credentialed wrestler in the welterweight division, I do not think he has the best MMA wrestling in the welterweight division, just to be honest. So that's a little concerning that a guy like T Wood was taking you down. But yeah, he poses a really interesting threat, because if he's able to keep it standing, and be able to, I think, overcome the level changes and the takedowns and all the, takedown feints that Usman will give him, and Usman's jab, he has a really good chance of going out there and beating Usman, maybe finishing Usman late. I think it would be really hard, man, for Wonder Boy to go out there and win. He would have to really do like a spectacular performance, like almost like I think it would be a really close fight. I think it would be more close to a draw than a win for Wonder Boy, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think Usman is just stylistically a really hard matchup for Wonder Boy. But at the same thing, it's the same stylistic hard matchup for Usman. Like I really do believe that. And then to the two guys, I think, that can beat Usman. And at number 2, and I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're crazy, this and that. Usman already beat him." I got my boy Leon Edwards. I've talked to some people about it, and I get, if you feel like Usman will beat him, I completely understand it. But this is my boy from Birmingham. So ain't nobody asked you. Shut your mouth, all right? This guy Leon is he is one of the most well-rounded dudes at welterweight right now. Yes, he does have a loss to Usman, but that was a long time ago. And go rewatch that first fight, you fucking fool. All right, it wasn't so dominant. He got like 2 double leg takedowns. All right, Leon had a great time in there with Usman. He wasn't levels below him. He was right there with him. Just Usman was just he was just above him by a little bit. And I just truly believe Leon's game has improved since that day. I know people bring him, Bilal Muhammad got double unders over Leon Edwards. That's just come on, man. That's like the first round, and that's how you're gonna judge. And Bilal, oh my God, he's running his mouth now. Like now, I kind of hope Leon does the rematch with Bilal just to destroy him and like make him never talk again. But oh my God, man, I've never seen a guy take a eye poke and run with it, man, it's shameful. But I think Leon, if he if he gets a good matchup, um, like leading up for the Usman fight, I think he could get ready if he fought. I don't want him fighting Colby Covington. I just don't because I like both of them. But if he could get someone like Chiesa or a Dorino Burns, I feel like that would be a great test. Or kind of like in terms of the grappling, because Dorino will go for takedowns. I think he'll outclass Dorino, man. Um, what he did to Rafael dos Anjos, I mean, that was amazing. He was able to take him down, stuff all his takedowns, outstrike him. You know, I was just impressed. The elbows, the clinch work. He would be a real problem for Usman to deal with. Because everything he provides is a problem because he hits hard and he's still there. And he doesn't hit a lot. He doesn't actually have a great output, right? You look at his output, it's not a lot. But the problem is that it's consistent, and dealing with, and it's powerful and it hurts, man. He damages guys. So, and he'll get knockdowns, he got a lot, he gets knockdowns. So I think Usman would have a hard time dealing with him because he's not an easy guy to finish. He has the will of a champion, the will of a lion, in my humble opinion. And it's gonna be a real test to see who digs deep. Obviously Usman will try to use his jab, and he has that. I think Usman's best weapon in the striking. He has that good front teep, and he has a good 1-2. That's about it with him. Doesn't really have any he doesn't have good hooks. His clinch game is good. I remember I seen some of his his tie clinches and stuff like that against Colby. That was all right. He's scrappy. I will give that. Usman's a scrappy guy, but Usman doesn't take damage as well. He doesn't. I don't think Usman's used to getting hit like that in the cage. You can just see it anytime he got hit by Colby or even against Masvidal. His reactions were very weird. He kind of overreacted to the punches, and I think with Leon could really hurt Usman and has a really good chance of changing things in the rematch. We've seen it: Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, Michael Bisping, Luke Rockhold, Henry Cejudo versus Demetrius Johnson. I think Leon is just as good as Usman, but I do not think he's the best welterweight on the planet like number one is. And my boy, and we got to go to number one. Oh man, the American Patriot, Captain America himself, my boy Colby Covington is the guy that will beat Kamaru Usman in the rematch. With Leon, I love Leon. Leon's, my second favorite welterweight. Yeah, that's why I hate when people say, I want to see Leon and Colby fight. Hell no. Those two should fight for a belt. And they need to work together right now to get rid of this fucking Nigerian, right? They got to get rid of this dude. That's what they should be doing. But I just think Colby Covington is just right there with Usman. You seen it in that first fight. He is right there. In the grappling, I don't think none of them want to test that water, right? But I honestly do believe if they were to wrestle, I think Usman would win early. And he would be the stronger grappler. But Colby would be the... He does take breaks. Colby does take breaks. I will say that. But Colby would keep the pace up. This is what Colby used to do in wrestling, right? He'll have wrestling matches where he'll be down 4 points, right? And he'll make a comeback in the third period and just get it back. That's what Colby does. He always gets it back. So I think if they were to fight in a rematch and they do wrestle, I think Colby would actually have a better chance of winning that fight. I think Colby, in my humble opinion, fought the worst fight. He shouldn't have fought standing. I think people overrated the Robbie Lawler performance. And it was like, oh, man, he was standing with Robbie Lawler. He looked so good. But the reason why he was able to do that, and obviously, in my humble opinion, Robbie is somewhat washed and he's past his prime. But the reason why he was able to really do that to Robbie was because of the threat of the takedown. And then that's what really it came down to. I think if Colby has the threat of the takedown, he'll be able to land more shots. He didn't have the threat of the takedown against Usman. That's why it was a pure striking match. And that's the problem. Usman hits harder. He's tougher. He has that Dutch kickboxing style. And now he has Trevor Whitman. He has a great jab. But Colby now, not only has he been working with American Top Team, now he's with MMA Masters. He keeps his hands up. The biggest problem in that matchup, Colby did not keep his fucking hands up. I think one of the best words is from Teddy Atlas. He was admiring his artwork, right? And that's the problem. He would throw a combination and basically wait for Usman to hit him back. And that was the problem. He should have never done that. And I think now you look at what he was able to do to Woodley. He was a completely different fighter. You know, people were trying to trash his performance against Woodley. You stupid fools. Man, that man looked like a fucking goat. Woodley was so motivated too. You know, I don't care what nobody says. Go watch Champ Camp on Woodley's YouTube channel. He said, I'm gonna kick him in the nuts. I'm gonna bite him. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna put my whole life on the line to beat this guy. And you know, he went for it. And yeah, it was. I mean, it was an amazing performance, uh, by Colby over Woodley. You know, he finished him. He's the first guy to finish Woodley in the UFC. Usman, Dorino, they couldn't do it. Roy McDonald couldn't do it. You know, Nate Marquardt did it in Strikeforce, right? Jake Shields couldn't even do it. So it's like, got to give this guy some respect, man. I think Colby will beat Usman in the rematch. I know. It's a bit of a stretch. And I know you guys will mock me a little bit, but that's my boy Colby. And I get it. Usman's fighting Jorge, and there's a really good chance Jorge, the street bum, might have a really good chance of catching him with a flying knee or catching him with some bummy techniques he got from Florida. You know, so you never know. But I just don't think Jorge or Dorino are on any, or at least are not on Colby's or Leon's level. And I'm sorry for saying that if that hurts some people's feelings. But I knew Gilbert was a lightweight reject. I'm sorry. He didn't have a chin. It is what it is. And I knew Jorge was is a lucky man. He was a lucky man in 2019. That's what I knew. But this is the state of the welterweight division. It's in fucking shambles. It's a joke right now. And but I can't be mad at it because, you know, at the end of the day, Usman, as much as I'm not a fan. I don't hate Usman like a lot of Colby Covington fans. I have respect for him. I like what I will say one thing about him. I like his relationship with his daughter. I like some of the stuff he said on Joe Rogan. He seems like a good man. And, you know, I like how he handled Dorino Burns. I liked how he finished him, stopped him, and beat his ass. You know, that's when I really respected Usman after the Colby Covington fight. I saw his podcast and stuff like that, and with Rogan. The first podcast with Rogan I wasn't a fan of, but the second one I was like, you know, I respect this guy and his work ethic and his mentality, and everything about it. But I just truly believe in my heart of hearts that Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman will have a trilogy one day. Now, whoever wins that third fight, I don't know, but that rematch, we gonna get it. And I'm done with hoping for Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. I'm done. That's not the money fight to me. The money fight is Colby versus Usman, you know, left versus right, America versus Africa. You know, I love it, bro. I love the matchup. I love the storyline. I know some people take it a little too serious with some of the politics, but it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I went really long, but hey, I love y'all. And it is what it is. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. Don't forget to follow me on my Twitter. If you're new to the YouTube channel, subscribe, share this video, like, go click that notification button. I love y'all and goodbye.